Live from Bizarro World, it's Comic Book Late Night with Culio Vids. Featuring some guy talking about comic books, standing in front of a curtain, and then later sitting at a desk. Tonight, Culio Vids welcomes Captain Logan. Obviously, they don't pay me enough to do these voiceovers. And now, here's Culio Vids.
Hello, and I'm Culio Vids, and this is Comic Book Late Night. Because of intern problems, I did not know we were filming tonight, so sorry for my appearance. But, whatever. I can still do this just because, that's me. Yeah. Alright then. So, Comic Book Late Night. You're probably asking yourself, Culio Vids, what is Comic Book Late Night? Well, that's a easy question, Mr. Person sitting out in the audience. Well, Comic Book Late Night is basically a show where I will tell you your comic book news. I will tell you what's going on in the world of comic books, whether it be movies, or action figures, or those paper comic books. Yeah. I'll give you your news. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. It's just like a talk show, Like, Jay Leno with the giant chin. Or, Greg Ferguson. I think he's from, Scotland or something. I don't know. Either way, funny people. Or Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. You know your talk show hosts. I don't know how to gap my teeth like David Letterman, though. Anyways, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch a talk show with Culio Vids? I'm sure you've heard of me. No? I mean, I've done so much. I do action figure reviews and spoofs of movies and comic book characters. I've done so much. I was in a Geekvolution Superman video. Remember? I was that guy, and I had the really poofy hair back then. I noticed I've gotten a little haircut, Thought I looked nice for late night. Yeah. Yeah. Looking good. Yeah. I thought about coming out here, maybe writing a parody song. It's just not me. I thought about doing a monologue about joking around about some big event. I don't know. Just thought that doesn't me either. Yeah. So I'll just promote myself. Look at me. I'm awesome. What's that? Denise. Oh, okay, then I'll just tell you about our guest. Our guest is really pretty amazing. Well, amazing for normal people's standards. Of course, it's not amazing for me because I'm just... Okay, it's amazing for even the great Culio Vids. I have Captain Logan from Geekvolution. I have him on our show. Vince wasn't available. So yeah. Oh my god. It's amazing. So, let's just, whatever this crappy tan background that Denise set up, let's go talk to Cap. And now, for the mother of all interviews, Captain Logan.
Hello, and this is my interview section where I ask people about stuff. And guess who we have tonight, people? Well, you don't have to guess. I already said it at the desk thing. But yeah, we have Captain Logan. How you doing, Cap?
Culio Vids, what are you doing here?
I'm interviewing you. We talked about this. Come on.
You're interviewing? No, I was expecting Bob France. What's happening?
Well, I don't know who this Bob is, but no, I'm interviewing you. I've got my questions here. Is there anything wrong? I mean, do you need a drink or anything? I mean, got to get it going.
So I now am on Comic Book Late Night, and you're going to interview me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me send. No. All right. No. The thing is, I'm intrigued. I gotta know. I'm gonna send Bob a tweet real quick. Then you go ahead. Yeah. Do your thing. I'm interested. Now I'm interested. I gotta know. Go ahead.
Whoever this Bob is must be more important than me. Okay. So we have our 5 questions for the Comic Book Grill. See what I did there? I put a title and there's going to be... Anyway, yeah. Alright, so question number 1. Are you ready?
Shoot.
Alright, who is Captain Logan?
That's potentially the vaguest question you could possibly have asked. I'm Captain Logan. What would you like to know?
Well, we still have a few more questions that might be a little bit more vague, but you just go with it. Who is Captain Logan? Define Captain Logan.
Define Captain Logan.
Not
Captain
Defoe.
Logan.
Not Defoe. Define.
I'd much rather talk about Defoe. Okay, Captain Logan is the internet personality of a person who will be unnamed, who just goes by Captain Logan, who does reviews of superhero films, and he used to have his own talk show. I'm not sure what happened to that. And hangs out with his buddy Vince, and does discussions about geeky topics, and is the co-runner of Geekvolution, and we are students of pop culture. That's pretty much Captain Logan in a nutshell.
Well, that's just dandy. So, wait, did you say you have a talk show?
Yeah. Well, it's called Comic Book Late Night.
I coined that. You, sir, we're gonna have to have a talk after the show, but we gotta keep it.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Let's move on.
Alright, so question number 2. Dose, for those in the South. Alright. Would you accept family-friendly substitutes for curse words, such as sweet and sour chicken and son of Darrell?
I like son of Darrell. I like that one a lot. Vince is partial to fire truck.
Fire truck. I remember that. That was one of the earlier episodes.
Yes, I absolutely do. In fact, my favorite thing is when somebody comes on our channel and they act like they're about to curse like that, and then I get all flustered, and then suddenly they throw that out.
I don't say words. Children are watching, I guess. Kids don't watch YouTube.
Potentially.
We don't know. Okay, move on to question number 3. If your son was given superpowers, what would you do?
Ooh, that's a good one. If
Thank
my son
you.
was... Yeah, I like that. Okay, so if my son was given superpowers, what would I do? I don't know. I'd probably be very Jonathan Kent about it. Like, I would freak out and be really excited about it, but I wouldn't tell anybody.
What would you do once he grew up? Like, say around...
See, that's the kicker. I guess it would depend on what the powers were, you know what I mean? Like, if he had, like, earth-shattering, destroy-the-universe kind of powers, I guess there's not much you could do, but I mean, like, I'd be a whole lot more worried than if he could just, you know, like, glow when you turn the lights off, or turn his hands into scissors. But, you know, if, yeah, I mean, I guess I would just raise him the best I could to use his powers for good, or at least not for evil, and then hope that I mean, I guess it's kind of like, it's very similar to bringing up, somebody who's just a genius, right? I mean, like, people who were, like, way smarter than their parents, that's almost like raising people with superpowers anyway. So I guess you would try to do whatever you would do in that situation.
Yeah, that happens in cartoons. Is that all you have to say on the subject?
That's it. I'm good.
Yeah, I would have
But
said...
I applaud you on that brilliant question.
Well, thank you. Okay, this one I kind of thought of, because Green Lantern just came out.
Yes.
I was thinking of this. So, Batman. Green Lantern or Yellow Lantern, also known as Sinestro Corps?
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine Batman as a Yellow Lantern just because I think that his you know, ideals and things match up less to the yellow than it does to the green, but on the other hand, I think the suit would look super cool.
Yes. Also, Batman does work with fear a lot, so you think he might be able to control it?
Well, you see that? Yeah, that's a good question, but you get the sense that, and I don't know a whole lot about Green Lantern. I'm not a big Green Lantern fan, but I mean, from what I know of it, you kind of get the sense that, like, nobody can control it. I mean, in the movie, a Guardian tries to control it. That doesn't work. So I kind of figure if a Guardian can't control the yellow power, I don't think Batman could.
Well,
even though it's his teeth.
Have you been to comic book movie? Every poll that involves Batman wins.
Well, that's true, but a lot of that's just kind of, if writers want Batman to win, Batman's going to win. But if we look at this on a realistic standpoint, no, I don't think so.
Comic books.
Well, it sounds like you already have your mind made up for you. Why are you even asking the question?
Because you're wrong.
If you're looking
I'm
for a specific answer, why even ask?
Because that's the fun of it.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're actually looking for a right or a wrong answer, and I just blew it.
Yeah, you did. And I'm not even sure if you're going to be coming back anytime soon when it's planned. All right. Last question. This is very important.
All right.
What is question 5?
What is question 5?
Yeah, what is it? I didn't have time, so I kind of just scribbled down something. So I thought, hey,
Wow.
I'll leave this up to Cap.
Well, that's crazy. I have to ask your question for you? Okay.
Give me a question 5.
Okay, question 5. If you were to start trying to collect every comic book of a specific character, what would it be?
Alright, thank you for answering question 5 by what is question 5. Well, that's pretty much covers everything. This has been great. You really got some interesting answers, not the ones I was looking for, because I wrote down the answers and you got them pretty much all wrong. But
see, the thing is, next time, just so you know, when you conduct an interview and you do it that way, you should probably tell people that they're on a game show and not in an interview, and then you might get the answers you're looking for.
that's
maybe.
part of the fun.
Well, Culio Vids, I'm gonna take my show back now.
What? Okay, I don't...
Well, Comic Book Late Night is my show, and you kind of walked right in and said, hey, it's my show, and I humored you for a minute, listened to your great questions, and we're 9 minutes into this interview. I'm going to take my show back and hope that I can salvage the rest of it.
Where is Ashton Kutcher? Am I being punked? What?
No, Coolio Vids, I believe I was the one being punked.
Oh.
Sorry to do it to you, but, people want to know what their trivia question is for this week.
I got a great trivia question. Why does Captain Logan got to keep stealing my ideas? Alright.
Well, Coolio Vids, thanks a lot for stealing my show.
You're welcome.
Well, I have no doubt that Coolio Vids did his own monologue this week, and since we're well into the show now, let's go ahead and jump straight into a trivia question, shall we? Last week's trivia was, what is the secret identity?
Hi, I'm Katrina.
I'm Christina,
And we're the Gorgeous Geeks.
And we're here today with your trivia question. Last week's trivia question was, what is Plastic Man's secret identity? And the answer was Patrick O'Brien. And the first person who answered correctly was game creator JJ.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you,
And now
sir.
And now for this week's question. In Action Comics year 2004, who was the woman that stole Superman?
So answer that first correctly and you'll be awesome
Yeah, magical things will happen.
in your life. You will not regret getting this correct. Never
Never.
in your life.
Yeah.
But anyway, for Know Your Batmobiles, what year was this Batmobile? Was it A, 1995, B, 1997, C, 2006, or D, 1990?
Hey everybody, it's Mailbag Day.
I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe that it came from you. Gonna write.
Hello, my minions, my doomsayers, and the loathsome Logan tears. I am Doomsvince, and I have laying before me the confiscated mail of Captain Logan, i.e. stolen possessions. And I promise you, my doomsayers, that postal fraud will not be my greatest crime. I will start from the left to the right, reading off all of my minions' faithful contributions to my cause, to our cause, the doomsayers' cause. Starting with our fan Nathan. He says, Dear Cap and Vince, thanks for the great videos. Here are a couple of things I thought you might enjoy, plus wanted to hear your thoughts on a couple of them. In any case, keep up the great work and happy reviewing. Your fan Nathan, YouTube name, The Frog 6. He sends Joe the Barbarian #1 from Vertigo. Batman, No Man's Land, and the Hero is Missing #1. Punisher 2099, 1 and 3. He also sends The Shadow number 2. That's pretty neat. He also sends J. Michael Straczynski's volumes 1 and 2 of Thor and Batman Arkham Reborn. I believe this is a cover from Detective Comics. I will find out later. Thank you, Nathan the Frog number 6. We also have a postcard from Wally Wingert that Captain Logan had to send away for because he has no real friends. Wally Wingert says, "Hey, Captain Logan," and he signs. These are some of his featured characters. Thank you, Mr. Wingert, but he will probably never see it. Also, we have coming from Sid Part 2, i.e. Ian H. Dear Captain Logan, this is a short story I wrote as a part of a series, but I feel it does a good job of standing on its own. I would love to get your thoughts on this, and would be very happy to see you talk about it on one of the YouTube shows, if you'd like to, of course. Ian H, aka Sid Part 2. Thank you, Sid Part 2, for sending us your prose writing. Here it exists on paper and ink format. It is entitled The Fish. And now, we will open this large box of items from Comics Kid 2099. Dear guys and gal of Geekvolution, I have been a fan of your show for about a year, through good times and bad. I can't really think of any bad times, but if there were, I was there through them. I am always happy to see a new ep uploaded on the channel, no matter if it's GNN Recommends, Trexpert's Pop Culture Yearbook, or Late Night. I always am entertained, and I usually learn new things by listening to this YouTube channel. As a token of my gratitude, and as a means of getting rid of various back issues that I have duplicates of, or trade paperbacks that I collect said issues, I present to you some new additions to the Comic Vault. I hope these stories of yesteryear can find a good home with the vast chamber of pop culture goodness. I think culture has something to do with milk. In an unrelated note, this is a very long letter. In an unrelated note, I was wondering if you could mention this website that I am affiliated with. It is still more or less in the stages of infancy, but we are growing quite rapidly. We are a place where you can read various webcomics, read various articles relevant to the comic book culture, and read reviews about older stories. But our primary focus is showcasing webcomics online. We have a page flip feature that is quite unique and makes the experience of reading the online comics very similar to what you might go through when reading a physical issue. It will be on, I will just show you the website. It is called essentialwebcomics.com/showcase/index.php. We encourage everyone, all of you, my doomsayers, go to this website and see how this can further our cause. We encourage everyone to like us on Facebook. I forget that people actually like things from time to time. I assume that everything is varying degrees of hate. And help us to make this site better in any way we can. With all that is said, I wish the Geekvolution army, more preferably my doomsayers, the best. Here to another year of amazing videos and another 2,000 subscribers. That would be very preferable to not another 2,000 subscribers. Anyway, here's a very large box of stuff. He sends to us Black Dynamite, Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, Return to Weapon X, Legion 91, Legion 91, Legion 91, with Lobo, Legion 91, Legion 91, Legion 92, Legion 92, Legion 92. I assume that he is a very big fan of Legion. Legion 93. There will be more. I haven't gotten to the other stack. The Adventures of Superman number 11. The Adventures of Superman number 501, 502, 503. Man, this is a lot of comics. I'm thinking that I'm just going to show you a lot of comics and then we can end this session so that we can just know the endless bounds of Comics Kid generosity. Comics. Dooms Vince likes to hum to himself at times when there's not much more to be said other than look at all of this wonderful Doomsayer swag. You know, I think Captain Logan is just going to have to deal with me saying, I don't care about his show, and look at all the wonderful things Comics Kid has sent to us. Lots of wonderful things. And by us, I mean his, and by me, I mean it's all mine. It brings a smile to my hateful heart to see a Doomsayer so generous. Thank you, my Doomsayers. Thank you, my minions. And buzz off, Logan Tears. And I would like to say to you, if you have any more wonderful things that I can steal from Captain Logan, you can please send them to Geekvolution P.O. Box 14183, Lenexa, Kansas 66285. Thank you for watching. All of my wonderfully stolen things have been stolen from in front of me. They are no longer there. This has to be the work of the cursed Captain Logan. Well, I suppose he did leave me 3 things. Punisher, the Shadow. Thank you, the Frog number 6. I will pay him back, and that shall be an easy feat because, of course, I have the keys to the P.O. Box.
Well, I know the show hasn't been working exactly as expected, but score 1 for Captain Logan. Thanks a lot to everybody who sent us stuff. Sid Part 2, I definitely will get to your story as soon as I can and send it back to you. And I wanted everybody to know that I'm not giving Sid Part 2 special treatment. I know I've said in the past that I don't do a lot of reading of stories people send us over personal message and over email, and I haven't had a lot of time to do that. I apologize for that. But Sid Part 2 took the time to send me something straight in the P.O. Box, and I like to read things with a pen in hand and mark it up, get a critique, send it back to you. So I will, like I said, I can't guarantee how quickly I'll get to that, but if you take the time to send me something in the P.O. Box, I'm a lot more likely to get to it. That's not to say that I'll never read anything in the email or in the personal messages, but lately I haven't had time to do it. So anyway, that's still there, and thanks a lot to everybody who sent us comics. Be watching, because we will definitely put some comic reviews from the stuff that you sent us in the vault in future episodes. And now, it's time for the news. So as it's been a while since I put up a late night, there has been lots more news about the DC reboot relaunch, and I'm not going to talk too much about that. Duke and Manos have talked about it a lot on their new show, so go check that out if you haven't. And I actually got to be on the show with Duke a couple weeks ago and talk about my initial thoughts, and with him and Gotham Girl and Cheese at Night. That was really fun, so go check that out too if you haven't seen it. Since I last was on, we do now know all of the new 52 number ones. There's a full master list out, and a little bit of information about each thing, but they're still being somewhat cryptic. There's a lot of things we still don't entirely know, and tons of really obscure stuff. My personal prediction is that a lot of this stuff isn't going to last, and really isn't meant to last. Everything is supposed to be monthlies, but I think DC has to know that certain of these books are not going to sell all that well. What I kind of wonder is, since they're doing digital at the same time, I'm kind of wondering if they're thinking that some of these they'll continue eventually doing in digital and just quit print. Like, they can make more books if enough people are buying digital, because it's, cheaper to make, because you're not making a physical product naturally. Surely they don't expect that they're really going to get enough people to read Voodoo and Frankenstein, and as much as I love him, Resurrection Man, more than a few issues. So anyway, yeah, Resurrection Man. I'm very excited that I'm going to get at least 5 or 6 new Resurrection Man issues, so it's going to be really great. And then Newsarama has an article about all the high-profile DC writers who are not going to be doing things for the big launch in September. Go check out that article and see what each of those writers and artists have to say about where they are and what they're going to be doing. A lot of them seem to be just doing their own creator-owned stuff. They're not even going to be working for DC. You can speculate about why that is, but it's all really interesting, so go take a look. The Daredevil reboot is going to be based on the Born Again storyline. What better storyline to base a new Daredevil movie on? If you're going to do a reboot, Born Again, fantastic. I'm really excited about it, and I don't think we could have had better news about that reboot. So, fantastic. Alright, so I just saw Green Lantern this weekend, opening weekend, and I saw it after I heard all those terrible things critics were saying about it. 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. Didn't get any better. And I gotta say, while I don't think it was quite 26% bad, it wasn't great. I mean, like, I thought it was kind of...
Whoa.
Duke?
Yes?
Duke, what are you doing here?
I don't know. Anyway, how dare you talk about Green Lantern without consulting me, a man with a degree in lanternology? Darn you.
Okay. You have a degree in lanternology.
It's hard to get.
Okay, alright. Duke, I didn't invite you. I don't know what you're doing here, but
Can I stay? I really like it here.
All right. So anyway, so you think I need you to help me review Green Lantern?
I think the people want you to need me to review Green Lantern.
See, as most of you probably know by now, I don't actually know a lot about Green Lantern. Not a big giant Green Lantern guy, and I, for one, felt about as mediocre about the movie as I always have about Green Lantern. Duke, how did you feel about it?
To be honest, it hit me all the right places as a fan. There were little nods to continuity in there, like we're okay on spoilers, right?
I like to keep these non-spoiler ones.
There's a lot of few nods in there that I picked up as a fan that I really did like, and the thing I find weird is a lot of those people thought were stupid. I'm like, but it was from the comic. What are you mean? And I think it was a pretty cool movie. I'm glad they kind of went all out with the constructs, because I thought it was going to be really basic stuff.
The constructs were cool looking, but my thing, and this is the thing I've never understood about Green Lantern, Duke, I felt like this was exactly the last person on Earth who should have gotten a Lantern ring.
How so?
Well, it didn't seem to me like he was all that creative of an individual. And it seemed to me like the best person to give a lantern ring to, since the whole point is you can make anything that you can come up with in your head, would be a very highly creative person. So I don't understand why you'd get somebody from the Air Force. Like it seems like to me the first person you go to would be like a writer or an artist.
To be honest, it's kind of like when you do an art project for history class. They are asking for something else besides artist, because the thing is, they're not focused on, oh, that guy can make a spaceship. They're focused on if you have will.
Well,
and he has it. Yeah, like it's not like a creativity thing. It's he seems strong.
Yeah, what I felt like was that the entire movie was trying really hard to convince the audience that this guy made any sense for getting a lantern ring.
To be honest, they do that in the comics sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's ultimately why the Green Lantern has never done it for me. Is just that the very premise never really worked for me. So I don't know. For me, the problem with the movie is that, and again, I'm calling it mediocre, but I'm not calling it bad. I felt like it was the Green Lantern movie I should have expected 10 years ago. Because it was really, really typical superhero fare. Like what I always say on Superhero Rewind is that the best superhero movies are the ones that are something else first. And this should have been sci-fi epic, and it really wasn't that. We spent way too much time on Earth and way too much on origin stuff. And the origin of Green Lantern is not nearly as interesting as what he does once he gets a ring. And he spends the whole movie kind of trying to decide if he's even worthy of having the ring, and that wasn't interesting to me. And I've seen it in a million other movies. So, I wanted more of the core. Like, honestly, I think they should have made a Green Lantern core movie.
I will go with you on the fact that the core's not in it too much, and it's a crime. Especially when you go to the theater, they have all those stand-ins for all those aliens.
Yeah, and they don't do anything, and they're the most interesting characters.
You need a magnifying glass to see them in the theater. You only see them for a millisecond.
Did you not feel like the entire supporting cast was shafted? I felt like I didn't get to know any of these people. Like Hal Jordan's best friend, he just shows up so he can make cracks that really aren't that funny. I don't get to know any of these people.
Thing is with his friend's not really a big deal in the comics, so I just didn't care about him. It took me forever to figure out, is he an actual character? Oh, he is, and
But see, I'm looking at this from the perspective of how is it working as a movie. You know what I mean?
I know. True. He came in, and I don't know. I think it's a bylaw now that you have to have a guy like that in a movie, which I could care less on. Again, he wasn't too funny, and he was just there.
Why does parallax have to be a giant cloud?
Oh, you mean the demonic smoke cloud from Lost?
Yes, except that it has a face.
Well, that's what happens when he gets possessed by the devil. He constructs
Why do all
a face.
of our giant cosmic creatures these days have to be clouds?
And voiced by Clancy Brown.
They did it to Galactus, and then they did it to Parallax.
To be fair, at least they admitted full out that there's some side of person in the cloud controlling it. It's not one of those things in Fantastic Four where you're like, you can assume he might be there.
Yeah, but who knows? Yeah,
we don't know. We just said it to comfort you.
So do you like what's his face playing Green Lantern?
I thought he was good because the thing I keep hearing people complain about, and they're like, why is Ryan Reynolds playing it? Hal Jordan never makes jokes. You are all wrong.
Yeah,
he cracks jokes all the time. I think he got it. I don't know. I'm one of those many people who say I wanted Nathan Fillion, but it's just because Nathan Fillion's made of liquid awesome.
Yeah,
but I thought he did a good job. I
thought he was okay. I just didn't care for the character that much. Like he just didn't. He was really typical. I just thought the whole thing was just typical superhero movie, and we've seen that enough. Again, it's not terrible, but I totally get why it's not doing very well at the box office. And if nothing else, Warner sold it totally the wrong way.
They still. I love how not until reviews started coming out, everyone was so hyped, and once the first negative review came out, everyone's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Warner Brothers, it felt to me like was begging us to go see this thing. To be fair though, they were like, if this works out, we'll make more movies with other heroes. No, I know, but I felt like they were showing their hand too much. Like that was the problem. It was very much our whole future depends on this movie. And when people beg that hard, you have to wonder if it's actually going to be any good. And so I think there were a lot of people who were like, you guys are trying too hard. Like Green Lantern is not one of those things that's going to appeal to everybody. I mean, I would go as far as to say that Green Lantern is like Thor in that way.
To be honest, I will say this. There were things I thought I was going to see in Thor that they did in Green Lantern. Like, for example, I thought Asgard was going to get shafted a lot.
Yeah.
Just because they're like, oh, we got to focus on Thor on Earth. Mm-hmm. But, we had a lot of it. That's one thing. That's one thing where this movie fails again. Like, we don't get too much cosmic stuff. And I think their mentality was, we want to have a lot of it on Earth, so when we get a sequel, we have a lot of money, so we can show you the cool cosmic stuff more.
Yeah, but the problem is we're never going to get one.
I know, and it
didn't do the attendance of Ghost Rider. See, the thing about it is, $55 million opening weekend sounded good several years ago, but
now it's just like, oh yeah.
Well, that was before 3D. See, so I mean, 50% of the people who went to see Green Lantern saw it in 3D.
I hate seeing movies in 3D. And
I've
heard more people actually. I hear that this movie's worse in 3D. People hated this movie in 3D.
Oh, that's not what I heard.
And
at all.
I've been told people hated it because it made the effects look. It just showed that they were more CG and they looked fake. But who knows?
Well, Duke, I've got to continue Comic Book Late Night, and thanks a lot for breaking into my show.
You're welcome, and I promise I didn't steal anything.
And, well, hey, that's it for the news, and be sure to check out Duke and Manos' new show. Every week they talk about all kinds of interesting comic things, and thanks again for breaking into the show, Duke. That's it for the news.
You're welcome, and I'm going to go where the security guard tells me to go now.
Today's Obscure Character of the Week is brought to you by... What, who is it?
Manos. Manos is on the phone.
Sarah, did he say what he wants?
He says it's important. Eric's stuck in a vacuum cleaner.
Again? Oh, man. Okay, guys, this is really embarrassing. I'm sorry. This has never happened before, but it's Manos, so I gotta go take this. I'll be right back. This is so embarrassing. I'll be right back.
Tonight's Obscure Character of the Week is brought to you by the number 4, a number that used to be way more fantastic than it is right now. Have you ever heard of the Swarm? This Marvel villain first appeared in Champions number 14 in 1977. A former top Nazi scientist, Fritz von Meyer became a beekeeper in South America after the war and was devoured by a colony of mutated bees, leaving only his skeleton. The unique qualities of the bees caused his consciousness to be absorbed into them, allowing von Meyer to manipulate the hive to do his will, although some of his skeletal remains are still inside the swarm itself. His consciousness merged with the swarm to the extent that they became one being who could fly through the air and assume any shape and size he desired. Thus, the Swarm was born. The Swarm first battled the Champions of Los Angeles, was defeated, and resurfaced to battle Spider-Man. In the first of many fights against him, Swarm lost his skeleton in the battle. Later, Swarm regained his external skeleton and attacked Mary Jane, who sprayed him with water, while a co-worker smashed his skeleton. But the bees reformed around it as bodyguards from Tony Stark took him away. When Alyosha Kravinoff, Kraven the Hunter's son, began collecting a zoo of animal-themed superhumans, Swarm was in one of the cages. Swarm next turned up in Denver, Colorado, having amassed enough bees to become giant-sized. The Thunderbolts faced him unsuccessfully, until Norman Osborn dispatched Venom, who devoured Swarm's bones. Osborn speculated this was, by now, a minor inconvenience that should not prevent Swarm's return, and of course, it didn't. If you have an idea for Obscure Character of the Week, don't bother sending Captain Logan a message. Mine are way cooler.
Okay, guys, I'm back. I think we got Eric out of the Hoover. Okay. Wait a minute. My wife totally just did Obscure Character of the Week, didn't she? Okay, whatever. The show couldn't possibly be going any worse. I guess it's time now to find out what I pulled from the vast and epic comic book vault.
Greetings, knights who say me. I'm therealmanos, and welcome to the Comic Vault. Well, actually, okay, it's a closet. But it's the Comic Vault, a segment I totally made up and didn't steal from anybody. Now, what's in the Comic Vault today? I feel like I'm going to pick, let's see, random comics. How about this one? This is Fantastic Four, number 239. This is written and drawn by John Byrne. This is back in 1982, where John Byrne was king. And his run on Fantastic Four is arguably one of the best runs, not just in Fantastic Four history, but in Marvel history. It was a brilliant resurgence for the team, which hadn't had a real great run until the original creators of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And we're pretty knee-deep in his run here. And still early. We got quite a few years left on this series with him. This is, like I said, issue 239, and as you notice on the cover, we have another Human Torch. This is Frankie Ray, who was just introduced a few issues earlier, and I believe the last issue before, we discovered that she had Human Torch-like powers, where at this point in the series, she had become an unofficial fifth member, because, you know, she's dating the Human Torch, and she's got superpowers. Why not? This issue is called Wendy's Friends, an ominous title, which does pay off. At the beginning of the issue, we're greeted by a attractive young woman who knows the Thing, and we are shocked to learn that this is Aunt Petunia, a character that had never been seen, that the Thing had been referencing forever, since the beginning of the series. We had just always assumed that she was kind of an Aunt May type of character, which I'm sure Stan Lee was thinking of. But John Byrne, realizing that, you know, in life, sometimes your aunts and uncles are almost your same age, so he definitely has fun with that. She comes to him for help, actually, because the town she lives in, called Benson, is being run amok by some kind of horrible mystery involving these creepy gremlin-ish characters, people disappearing and such. And of course, as usual, with the usual flair of like sci-fi, mumbo jumbo and action and mystery and a little creepiness here and there, John Byrne really pulls off a wonderful one-shot story that is totally worth it. If you can find this, or if you can find it traded in one of the Marvel Visionaries, give it a shot. It's issue 239 from Fantastic Four. Push the button, Lindsay.
And now it's time to reveal the year.
And the answer to the Batmobile question is...
You said you were going to answer it.
I know, but I forgot.
It's 1997.
Well, that's all the time I have for you tonight. I'd like to apologize for not having my own guest on this week. Unfortunately, certain people made that impossible. Thanks a lot to Culio Vids, Dooms Vince, and Duke Loops, and anybody else who happened to break into my show this week. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, if you're ever in the Kansas City area, be sure to check out Pop Culture Comics in Overland Park, Kansas. That's our official sponsor and my very favorite place to get comic books. And remember, where are my keys?